Thank you all for coming on out. I'd like to introduce Mr. Esteban here at the end carrying the rifle. He's a junior in our program. His intention is to join the United States Marine Corps upon graduation of high school. He's going to make an outstanding Marine, which he does. So he's been doing this program his entire time in high school. Next up with the American flag. This is probably one of the rising stars, not only in our program, but in our school. He's a leader here. He's a freshman, but he's already made pretty up to second class, which is pretty quickly to do that in just a semester and a half. He also does wrestling. He's on the lacrosse team. He does drill, color guard. He's already leading this team, which is very impressive. He's one to watch out as the next couple of years go by. Now I have Mr. Cody here. He's another rising star. He's another freshman. He's just taking the lead. He's also on our orienteering team, and our orienteering team is going to nationals next month. So we're very excited about that. We're taking a group of kids down to Florida to compete in the orienteering nationals next month in Florida. And finally, I have our Unit XO, Ms. Joel here. She's an outstanding student, outstanding representation of our unit. She's not only our XO, but she leads in every aspect of our program. Her plan after high school, when she graduates, she's going to become a firefighter, hopefully here locally, and we'll be able to use her talents as much as possible. Thank you again. I appreciate it.
Next on the agenda is approval of minutes from December 15th for the special called meeting and regular meeting, January 23rd, 2026 special called meeting, and February 9th, 2026 special called meeting. Motion for approval of those set minutes.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Motion heard. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous, thank you. Next on the agenda is adjustment approval of the agenda presented by Dr. Stover.
Thank you, Chairman Settlemeyer, members of the board. We do have some corrections tonight. The first, and thank you for a great work session today. First correction is the local current expense budget request. The additions of the classified and certified supplement increase is in there. Again, we will need to move the actual hearing, though, to the March meeting. I appreciate your flexibility with that. We need to remove, I'd like to request and remove new business number 12. We'd like to add new business 19. And that would be the declaration of property surplus presented by Mr. Moore. And oh, yeah. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate it. Also, we'd like to remove closed session since we did that earlier today. We do have 4 field trip requests that came in today, and so we are asking to add that. Those 4 are in from St. Stephen's High School. They're traveling out of state for ROTC, and since they were just here, thank you all. But they just left. Okay, they're probably already on the field trip.
Did they bring them with them when they came tonight?
Yeah, yeah. Also, we need to revise the calendar. From last year, we presented, Ms. Thompson will be requesting to add possible weather makeup days for next year's calendar. The work session documents from the presentation this morning have been added to your packet for the architectural firm that the administration is asking for approval tonight. made revisions to the second reading draft policies this morning, specifically BC students. New business number 19, which is the moving the public hearing on 26-27 from February 23rd to the regular meeting on March 23rd, which we've already talked about that, but that would be new business 19. And then, as I stated earlier, which is actually new business number 20, disregard my earlier number for the declaration of property surplus. So let me summarize that. Remove number 12, new business number 12, remove closed session. Addition to the consent number 4, which is the 4 out-of-state field trips for St. Stephen's High School. Amend the unfinished business number 1 to approve the final draft of the local current expense. Revision to new business number 2, which is revise the budget calendar. So the public hearing would be March 23rd, not February 23rd. Work session documents are posted. That would be new business number 15 from the presentation from Mr. Moore this morning on architectural firm selection. The second reading amendment of the social media policy has been updated and put into your packets. New business number 18, we're revising for the equitable funding, which just updates the data in there for the letter to the North Carolina General Assembly. New business number 19, approval of the board meeting to move that hearing. And then finally, new business number 20, the adoption of surplus real estate. That might be the longest one I've ever done. My apologies. But we did have a very successful work session. As a result, a lot of things need to be moved. So thank you all for your patience.
Thank you, sir. I seek a motion to make the adjustments to the agenda that Dr. Stover had asked for. I'm not going to repeat all those.
Make that motion for the,
All
I'm
right.
sorry, I make the motion for the adjustments to the agenda.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. That is unanimous. Chairman's report. Hey, I'm just happy to have all our kids back in school. Snow days are done. Let's hopefully move forward with spring. Keep that going. Weather is on the horizon, I hope. Next up, superintendent's report presented by Dr. Stover.
Chairman, if the members of the board would come out, we have quite a few recognitions tonight. So if you would meet me out front. Oh boy, after this, you guys will be tired of hearing me. So here we go. I am, let's start with welcome Bandy's high school teacher cadet, Miss Andrews. Great to have our students here. Thank you. Also, too, Mrs. Geyer, you didn't know this, but I know you're starting the program at Challenger and you're leading that. I'm excited. So glad you're here as well. We have our special recognitions. I'll ask Mr. Geddes to come up. We're going to do our employees of the month. We'll start at Sherrills Ford Elementary School. Our classified employee of the month is Cynthia Field Turcaso, our school secretary, school tutor, school nurse when she's not there, receptionist, greeter, and baker. Don't you worry, Gates. I was getting to that. That is important. Miss Gates, thank you for being here. Come on up. Let's give her a big round of applause. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. All right, from Tuttle Elementary School, want Want to welcome Miss Katie Chapman, our fourth grade teacher. Been teaching a long time, and she does incredible work with our math students. She also has been just a wonderful teammate for her team that has been down, and as far as with some health things. She also leads our student extracurricular team of we call it 412, and which I've gotten to speak there multiple times, just making a huge impact on Maiden and Tuttle. And sometimes you can find her dancing in her classroom. Miss Chapman, congratulations and thank you. Appreciate you. Ms. Plonk, thank you for being here tonight. Yes. All right. Well, I had to prepare for this one, so I'm not going to be emotional. But I want a big thank you, Mr. Moore, Mr. Dan K. Moore. You'll see in the, not the governor, named maybe possibly after the governor. He is retiring, and he actually missed, I think, maybe the first cabinet meeting since he battled through cancer. And so we took the advantage of our liberty. I don't do this often, or maybe the second time ever. But I actually, in our team, just named him our Employee of the Month. More like Employee of the Years for years. Everybody, Mr. Moore is one of the most incredible human beings you'll ever meet. And he's got a few more months, and he's got a lot to do before he leaves. But, Mr. Moore, I see Mrs. Moore in the audience. We appreciate you. Just a wise man. We're thankful for him, and he's just done an absolute wonderful job. That went better than I thought it was. That's good. All right, all the way from Asheville. This is just, wow. The hits keep coming in Catawba County Schools. We have great people. I'm thankful. Dr. Sumner is here from North Carolina Center of the Advancement of Teaching. This year, we are privileged to have Emily Poovey, Mrs. Poovey from Claremont Elementary, who is a finalist in the Beginning Teacher of the Year. And this is a big deal. It's through the Burroughs Welcome Center. And Dr. Sumner is here to say a few words on behalf of Ms. Poovey in this selection. Also, too, I want to thank our Claremont family for being here. Mr. Fry, fellow teachers, just thankful. Ms. Poovey, I know that you're here, too. Here she is. And so, Dr. Sumner, I'm going to turn it over to you for a few words, if you wouldn't mind.
And I would be remiss if I did not also congratulate Mr. Moore. We worked together in a previous school system work, so congratulations. He was amazing then as well. So good evening, Superintendent Stover and members of the Catawba County Schools Board of Education. On behalf of the North Carolina Center for the Advancement of Teaching, it is my privilege to announce that Emma Poovey, a third grade English Language Arts and Social Studies teacher at Claremont Elementary School, has been selected as a finalist for the NCAT 2026 Burroughs Welcome Fund North Carolina Beginning Teacher of the Year Award. And Emma, come on up here.
Thank you, thank you,
Thank you,
I
thank you.
appreciate that.
Yes. Emma does not have to, thank you. Emma does not have to memorize that title to go advance to the next steps. So this recognition celebrates Ms. Poovey's outstanding contributions as a beginning teacher and the meaningful impact she is already making on her students and the broader community here in Catawba County Schools. I would like to recognize Mr. Jamie Fry, her principal, Mr. Fred Whalen, Catawba County Schools Beginning Teacher Coordinator. Thank them for their support. The Beginning Teacher of the Year Award was created to recognize the creativity, resilience, and commitment of first-year teachers across North Carolina. Each year, more than 7,000 new educators step into classrooms statewide, and this award shines a light on those who rise to the challenge and represent the very best of our profession. Ms. Poovey will be attending a week of leadership-focused professional development with her fellow finalists in March, where interviews and portfolio review will be conducted by a panel of judges from across the state to determine the next beginning teacher of the year. On March 12th, NCAT will celebrate all finalists and announce the winner at a recognition event at Wake Forest University in Winston-Salem. At NCAT, we are committed to advancing teaching as an art and a profession, and we're thrilled to celebrate Ms. Poovey as a shining example of that. Please join me in congratulating Emma Poovey on this outstanding achievement. We are pleased to provide you with this plaque, this certificate, recognizing you as an NCAT 2026 Burroughs Welcome Fund North Carolina Beginning Teacher of the Year finalist.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's do this. If you guys will take your picture, and then she'll come through and shake hands, and then
Okay, so do their picture first.
they'll do their picture, and
Okay.
then you'll be next.
This is fancy. This is very fancy.
I think I'm gonna be.
Oh. Thank you.
You too, and we'd love to have you in the picture.
Okay, would you go as well?
I'll be in it. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks. Yes. No, I didn't.
Okay, last but not least, this is the second time, here you go, Dr. Summer, had the opportunity to again have a regional finalist. This time it is our Chief Technology Officer, Mr. Marty Sharp. This is the second time he's been nominated, and this time, folks, he's winning. He will be the State Technology Officer of the Year, and honestly, Marty, I know he doesn't like it, but you are the best.
I appreciate
And your staff is wonderful, and I can't thank you enough. Over the weekend, he's letting us know about power. I could go on. I'm not, he, behind the scenes, just does such wonderful work, and we're so thankful for. And he likes to stay behind the scenes. But we'd like to get your picture and wish you well.
Thank you.
And you're winning.
All right.
All right. Marty, thank you so much.
Next on the agenda is public comment, and that will be directed by Miss April Underwood.
The Catawba County Board of Education appreciates and welcomes all public comments. Members of the public who have signed up to speak may address board members on any topic of concern during the public comment section of a regular meeting. Each speaker will be allowed a maximum of 3 minutes to address board members. A time clock will be displayed to assist each speaker with their 3-minute time limit. Speakers should direct their comments to board members rather than to the audience. Comments by members of the public should be respectful without slander towards any member of the public, community members, or any member of the Catawba County Board of Education. Any displays of approval or disapproval are out of order unless otherwise directed by the board chair. Our first speaker will be Sandy Jarvis.
Thank you. I am here representing Moms for Liberty, Catawba County. Our mission statement declares that we are for unifying, educating, and empowering parents to defend their rights at all levels of government. Communication is essential to success for any team. Every member of this board must be an active participant in timely and clear communication with each other. Last week, I sent an email to each board member that was currently serving at the time of the walkout at St. Stephen's High School. I wanted to know what and when about this protest. I heard back from every member that was contacted. I found that there was one school board member who was directly informed by a parent ahead of time. This school board member chose not to inform the chairman of the board. This decision not to inform the chairman was a dereliction of duty to the school board, and this member let down the parents and children of this school district. Had the chairman been notified appropriately, a message could have been sent out throughout the entire school system via Parent Square or another application utilized to communicate with parents. Informing parents ahead of time would have given parents in our county the opportunity to have a conversation with their sons and daughters about this situation. The goal should be to make sure that parents are always informed about activities on school property during school hours. Parents were not given the opportunity to educate and guide their child for this event. As I previously said, communication is essential to success. If there is a board member or a community member for that matter, who intentionally withheld information from the chairman of the board or was not situationally aware enough to know the importance of this information, under those conditions, the member may not be positioned to provide the level of service that the parents and children of this county deserve. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Jarvis.
Our next speaker is Noah Roney.
Good afternoon. My name is Noah Roney, and I'm speaking as an advocate for arts and culture support on behalf of Arts Culture Catawba. I'm a senior at Challenger Early College High School, and I'd like to share a brief story about how theater has made a difference in my life. Before I became involved with theater, I was incredibly introverted and had difficulty meeting and talking to people in groups. Stepping on stage gave me newfound confidence and has given me social skills that have extended to my everyday life. Suddenly, communication, teamwork, and understanding other people wasn't so hard. Being in rehearsal gave me a space where creativity was encouraged and everyone had a voice that mattered. As I've matured over the past few years, I now have the pleasure of watching younger students grow as both performers and people in these theater settings. I've watched shy students find confidence on stage, and I've seen students who struggled in other areas discover a passion that kept them engaged in school. Theater gives young kids a sense of belonging. A study by The Liberating Arts explains how the arts encourage critical thinking skills, which teach students the ability to consider things from multiple viewpoints. When there's a greater understanding of others in a classroom setting, people feel more open in communicating and expressing themselves, which creates a more positive school environment. Beyond the classroom, arts and culture nonprofits generate $53.5 million of economic impact in Catawba County annually. The arts have proven to strengthen both individuals and our broader community. I want to sincerely thank you for your continued support of arts and culture. Your leadership keeps Catawba County a place where creativity can thrive. If you have any further questions about the impacts of art in our community, I encourage you to reach out to Arts Culture Catawba. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Roney.
Addie Prestwood is our next speaker.
Hello, my name is Addie Presswood, and I'm here to speak on behalf of Arts Culture Catawba. I'm a sophomore at Challenger Early College High School, but not so long ago, I was a 6th grader at Mountain View Elementary. Every kid who attends Mountain View dreams of the coveted 6th grade musical from the moment they see it in kindergarten for the first time, and I was definitely no exception. I don't know if I've ever felt as happy as I did the day I read my name on the cast list as Wendy and Peter Pan, and the memories I made during that experience are some that I will treasure for the rest of my life. Through the 3-month rehearsal process leading up to the show, I learned a lot about theater, but I also learned a lot about confidence, community, and teamwork. Prior to Peter Pan, I was a quiet kid and didn't really have any confidence in myself. The opportunity to be involved in the play gave me so many things. It helped me to open up, I gained confidence, and it gave me the belief that I could be a part of something so much bigger than myself. Every year, the drama and music teachers at Mountain View, Miss Katie Miller and Miss Joyce Yang, take a group of 6th graders and put on an incredible production with them. It's not your average school play, it's more like on a community theater level. The kids learn so many important skills, dancing, singing, and acting, yes, but they're also learning valuable life skills like how to speak in front of an audience, the importance of focus, tenacity, and hard work. They learn independence and individuality intertwined with working as a team and depending on others, and the value of staying dedicated and giving their all to every step of the process. In fact, a study by Americans for the Arts actually shows that children who actively participate in arts programs are 4 times as likely to be recognized for academic achievements. This program had such a profound impact on me that I wanted to return and help it in any way I could. When I was in 8th grade, I went back to volunteer, and I've been doing so every year since. This program also compelled me to continue to do shows at local community theaters, and without my experience in theater, I wouldn't have the skill set to even speak here today. Thank you for continuing to support the arts and culture here in Catawba County. Without your support, our schools would be lacking the creativity, confidence, and diversity that make them thrive. If you have any questions about the impact of arts on our community, don't hesitate to reach out to Arts Culture Catawba. Thank you.
Thank you for coming out, and I'd like to say thanks for young people coming up and speaking about something like that. We appreciate it. We like to hear from our students and young folks in the community, so thank you for coming out.
Thank you.
Our next speaker is Aaron Schurmeyer.
So I come before you this evening as both a concerned citizen and a librarian. In both my personal and professional capacities, I am highly concerned over potential changes to what is essentially the collection development policy for the school system. In case you didn't know, in order to be a school librarian, often known as a media coordinator in North Carolina, you must possess a master's degree in library science or have completed at least part of the coursework. Part of the master's program includes classes specifically on how to select age-appropriate materials for students. This is in addition to any classes you've already earned or taken as a bachelor's degree usually in education. These classes, if you're in education, include courses on child development and crafting lessons that include age-appropriate materials. At that point, you're pretty much an expert. Due to their years of training, librarians are uniquely situated to be the best at deciding what to put in the school libraries. Every library in this system is not going to be the same. Due to grade levels for the school and their unique populations, I wouldn't expect St. Stephen's Elementary to have what Murray does. It's just not the same group of students. The job of our schools is to educate our students and prepare them for the real world. We need to expose them to the real world, and that sometimes includes challenging books that are going to get people upset. It's going to happen. They're going to read them. A tenet of librarianship and a good collection development policy is it acknowledges that you can't let your personal beliefs dictate what the library has. The board's proposed new policy directly states that any administrative flagging or removals for committee review must be justified by age, maturity, educational suitability, or pervasiveness of vulgarity, not by viewpoint, ideology, controversy, or third-party ratings alone. Through prior actions of some of the members on this board and things that they've said, some of you have shown you're not willing to abide by this, and I'm kind of confused why it's in the policy. Because when we had all the controversy with book banning, some of y'all said that why you chose to remove books was it went against your personal beliefs. I'm sorry, this is an issue that's really important to me. Everyone deserves to see themselves in books. A well-known quote in librarianship says that a truly great library has something in it to offend everyone. If our libraries are going to do their job, there are going to be things in them that upset people. No one is forcing any child to check out a certain book. If it's not appropriate for your family and your beliefs, talk to your child about it. It doesn't mean it's not appropriate for someone else. Kids that come into the library get this. I hear them say it. It's not hard. It falls on parent responsibility to determine what is and isn't appropriate for your family. Before I go, I also want to briefly address adding opening invocations. As a progressive Christian, it makes me highly uncomfortable. We're told in the Bible not to pray in public, but to do so in private as to not draw attention to ourselves. I feel by adding invocations rather than just a moment of silence, it's this board's way of quietly saying we're a Christian board. I would caution against making, and I'm done.
Thank you, Ms. Schermeyer.
Speaker is Joanne Gardner.
Thank you for your time. And I'd like to add to what she said. I haven't been in a classroom except for adult Sunday school class in many years, but I have been in the classroom from Head Start all the way through the college level. I'd like to reiterate what Aaron said about public Christian prayer. I don't see the point. I don't think it brings anyone to whoever you see as the higher power. I think it just has a potential to offend some people. I would also like to say that nobody goes into education because they want to make a lot of money. I think they go in with the highest of intentions and that they want to serve the community. To keep constantly going back and forth about books and things like that is a waste of your time and a waste of the educator's time. Let them do their job. They were educated for it. Give them the respect that they deserve. And you're making it harder to keep good, qualified people in the classroom. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Gardner.
Next speaker is Charlie Shepard.
Good evening, members of the board. Thank you for your service to our students and families. I'm here tonight representing Catawba County Moms for Liberty. I'm Dad for Liberty. Artificial intelligence is no longer a future concept. It's here in our classrooms. It has extraordinary potential to enhance learning, improve efficiency, and expand access to information in ways we could not have imagined a few years ago. Used wisely, AI can be a powerful educational tool. With that opportunity comes serious responsibility. We've already seen what happens when technology outpaces guardrails. Smartphones and social media were introduced without fully understanding their long-term impact on children. Today we see rising anxiety, depression, and addiction as a result. With AI, the stakes are even higher. That's why I'm asking you to adopt our AI proclamation. This proclamation does not reject innovation. It embraces it with boundaries. It affirms that parents have the fundamental right to direct the upbringing and education of their children. It ensures transparency about what data is collected and how algorithms are used. It protects student data from commercial exploitation and profile. It requires meaningful parental consent and oversight. Most importantly, it makes clear that AI must remain a tool to support learning and that the keys to AI toolbox belongs to parents. No algorithm should replace a teacher's judgment. No platform should shape a child's worldview. No AI system should conduct or monitor social emotional learning or provide mental health services to students. And no AI tool should operate without clear safeguards and accountability. This is about the balance of innovation with responsibility, progress with protection. By adopting this proclamation, you're sending a clear message. Technology will serve families in this district, not the other way around. You're affirming that transparency, student safety, and parental rights are non-negotiable. A sample of the AI board policy, it was sent to the chair of the board for review. We encourage the board to produce an AI policy if not already in place. Our children deserve opportunity. They also deserve protection. AI can help strengthen education, but only if we put the proper guardrails in place now. I respectfully urge you to adopt this proclamation and develop a strong policy to lead with clarity, courage, and commitment to the families you serve. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Shepard. Do you have a copy of the policy or the proclamation or? Thank you, Ms. Jarvis.
Our next speaker is Riesel Wright.
Good evening. This is the first time I've ever attended a meeting of the board. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you tonight. I live at 406 South College Avenue here in Newton. I'm a councilman on the Newton City Board. And I'm here to talk to you about the potential award of a contract to an architectural firm that hopefully is going to be doing some work on the school system for middle grade facilities. I'm here for some clarification on some of the things that I heard about. And I just want to address that. And I don't know how the board's going to use that information, but I just want to make you aware of various things that I see as a potential hazard. I'm a registered engineer, been in business for 54 years. I've seen a lot of things. And I hope you take my comments constructively. I understand that you're getting ready to consider award of a architectural contract to a firm that is out of Raleigh. The project that you're considering tonight is reported to be a $100 million project. The potential architectural fees based on a project of that size is about $6 million. It's a tremendous amount of money. A tremendous amount of money for construction. In all honesty, our firm was part of a team that interviewed for this job. I don't care whether we get to work or not. It's immaterial to us. But I am very concerned about the possibility of sending $100 million out of this county to somebody that resides in Raleigh. If you consider that $100 million, what will that do to the county's economy? Once you send that $100 million, it's out of the county. School systems generate no revenue. So that $100 million is gone, and it takes a lot of time to recoup that money. The other thing I'm concerned about is the length of time. And I see my time was almost up. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Wright. Somebody send me your phone, Mr. Wright. Oh, okay. Somebody send me your phone number. How about me and you connected in the next couple of days? I'll give you a call. Is that all right? No, well, about that, but I can call. You said you want a clarification. I can call and clarify what I can. Okay. Somebody texted it to you.
Speaker is Lawrence Wiedemann.
Good evening. Honesty, equality, fairness, respect, ethics. These are generally considered to be good qualities. In all things, do to others what you would have them do to you. That's also good. What is Caesar's, give back to Caesar, and to God what is God's. One could infer from this what does not belong to the state has no business interfering with. This is consistent with the law of the United States enshrined in the First Amendment of the Constitution. Religious beliefs do not belong to the state, and representatives of the state, including the Board of Education, have no business promoting or invocating any religious belief. It's not fair to people of different beliefs. It's not equal. It puts people of different faiths on a lower tier. Telling them that they can just leave the room is disrespectful. It's not what you would want your neighbor to do to you. It's not what we're here for. It's also illegal under the Constitution. The Supreme Court has already ruled on this. But you already know this. I sent you the ruling reference, Santa Fe Independent School District versus Doe, 530 US 290, 2000. Yet the board willfully chooses to violate the law of the Constitution and the law of the prophets by having religion prayer associated with the school board meeting. So let me ask you, what legal, moral, or ethical tenet gives you the authority to sanction prayer in conjunction with school board meetings? The question is for you, Mr. Settlemeyer.
This isn't an open dialogue type thing. You talk, we listen.
So you have no answer? I give you all the opportunity. Mr. Stover, do you have an answer? Mr. Attorney? If you would all, please respond to my email and answer the question. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Weiderman. Next on the agenda is approval of the consent agenda in your packets here. There are no questions. I ask for a motion to approve the consent agenda for tonight's meeting.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve the consent agenda items as presented.
Hear a motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. That is unanimous. Thank you. Next on the agenda is unfinished business, approval of 2026-2027 local current expense budget request, final draft, presented by Mr. Seth Previtt.
Good evening, Chairman Settlemeyer, members of the board, Dr. Stover, Attorney Sink. Got before you a visual of our 2026-2027 budget request. At a very high level, an overall $4 million request from the county equates to 11.4%. We've talked earlier about some of the components of that. I don't know how, this is my first time, so I don't know how deep you want me to go into this, but I would ask you if you have questions or things that you would like me to go over.
Thank you, Mr. Privet. I want to just add to the board, I want to thank you all for the consideration of the increase for our classified request for our classified employees, as well as the request for our certified employees to our county commission. As you know, as inflation continues and no state budget, that was a wonderful request. Of course, I don't know if that'll happen, but I really appreciate your hearts on that matter. So I want to thank you all for that.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Privet? If not, I seek a motion for approval of the 2026-2027 local current expense budget request, final draft.
Motion to approve.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up is new business approval of revised 2026-2027 capital outlay request for Catawba County Schools, presented by Mr. Dan Moore.
Thank you, Chairman Settlemeyer, members of the board. Earlier today, we discussed the change that we had to the capital outlay requests. There was an addition error. We have notified you of that, and we present to you now our revised capital outlay request, and I would seek your approval at this time and be happy to answer any other questions that you may have.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Moore? Not, I seek a motion to approve the 2027 capital outlay request.
That motion.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next is approval of revised 2026-2027 budget calendar.
Yes, again, we're kind of at the midpoint in this timeline. This timeline is predicated at the request of our county offices. So I have presented it to you in the fashion that they have requested it from me. If you've had an opportunity to review this, it would be my recommendation to approve as presented.
But has any questions for Mr. Privet? I ask for a motion for approval of revised 2026-2027 budget calendar.
I make that motion.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. That is unanimous, thank you. Next up, again, Mr. Privet, is the 2025-2026 audit engagement letter and audit contract for fiscal year ending June 30th, 2026.
Yes, as required, always an annual audit. You guys have a longstanding relationship with Anderson, Smith and White. They have given their proposal for the audit contract of this fiscal year. It is a 3% increase in the price over last year, just over $42,000. If there's any questions I can answer for you, I'd be glad to do that. If not, seek a recommendation of the audit contract.
No questions for Mr. Privet. I seek approval of the 2025-2026 audit engagement letter and audit contract for fiscal year ending June 30th of 2026.
I make that motion.
Hearing a motion, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is approval of amendments to E-rate consulting contractual agreements between Catawba County Board of Education and Clarity Solutions Incorporated. A, Seventh Amendment to Contract 2025-2026 school year. B, Eighth Amendment to Contract 2026-2027 school year, presented by Mr. Marty Sharp.
Board Chair, members of the board, as presented earlier today, I put in front of you the amendment for our E-rate consulting contract. Again, we've used Clarity Solutions since 2015. We asked for approval for the 2025-26 addendum as well as the 26-27 addendum or amendment. My apologies.
Go ahead and do both of these.
It's up to the board. Okay. Not a problem. Both of them are identical for each year.
No questions for Mr. Sharp. I ask for a motion for approval of amendments to the E-rate consulting contractual agreements between Catawba County Board of Education and Clarity Solutions. For A, the Seventh Amendment to the contract for 2025-2026 school year. And B, the Eighth Amendment to contract for the 2026-2027 school year.
I'll make that motion.
I've heard a motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
And up next, Marty Sharp again, approval of Amendment 2 to the Wide Area Network Telecommunication Service Agreement between Catawba County Board of Education and Catera Ultra Broadband LLC.
And the first point of business for our new E-rate or our continued E-rate consultant is to look at continuing our WAN agreement. This should be the final extension for final year. We will bring, if approved, we'll bring an RFP in front of the board next school year for E-rate purposes. And we ask that the board approve the extension for the final year of Catera for our WAN agreement.
If there are no questions for Mr. Sharp, I seek a motion for approval of Amendment 2 to the Wide Area Network Telecommunications Service Agreement between Catawba County Board of Education and Conterra Ultra Broadband LLC.
Make a motion that we accept that.
Hearing a motion, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Sir?
Thank you.
Next up is approval of approval of pre-K tuition increase for 2026, 2027 school.
Thank you, Chairman Settlemeyer, board members, Dr. Stover. As discussed earlier today by Mr. J.R. Sigmund, we would like the board to consider an increase of tuition or fees from currently $496 to starting next school year, $650. Reason for this, we currently have a deficit of around $200,000, and this would help cut our deficit almost in half for next year. Any questions about the request?
Nobody has any questions for Mr. Miller. I ask for motion for approval of pre-K tuition increase for the 2026, 2027 school year.
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous. Thank you, Mr.
board.
Miller.
The
Up
sec-
next,
Sorry.
approval of quote from Curriculum Associates for iReady Resources, grade 2 through 5, presented by Mr. Lee Miller.
Yes, sir. Thank you. This would align our district second through fifth grade with one reading curriculum, which we would be proud of that. We've had several different ones over the last several years. This would have second grade using the Ready Reading curriculum, and third, fourth, and fifth grade using Magnetic, which we have used in 12 of our schools over the last 3 years. The total cost of this would be $75,396.39, and would be paid for out of PRC 085 funds, not our local textbook or state textbook funds. I'd like to ask the board to consider that request.
So could you tell us what else was involved with that? This is books, right? These are books.
Correct.
All right.
These are books that students have. It's a combination of a workbook that has text passages in the books. It also has comprehension questions in the books and writing prompts in these books. So it's a hard copy resource that we can give to students. Teachers have a guide, and it ensures that our students have grade level appropriate text that they are reading for comprehension. They're answering those high order thinking questions, which are so important to comprehension, and also includes the writing prompts I just mentioned to help with the processing of the information that's within the text. We know that one of the problems that we have is building stamina for our kids. They typically have 4 passages on an EOG that if you look at the grade level, so for example, a 4th grade is going to have the grade level times 100 plus 200. So a 4th grade text on an EOG is about 600 words. We have to make sure that we're exposing our kids to that level of text and that length of text throughout the school year. This helps us do that along with building the comprehension skills that I mentioned.
Thank you, sir. Any further questions for Mr. Miller? This number 7 here. If not, I will ask for a motion for approval of quote from Curriculum Associates for iReady Resources, grade 2 through 5.
I'll make a motion.
Hearing a motion, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Thank you. Next is approval of master service agreements between the Catawba County Board of Education and Participate Learning. Mr. Lee Miller.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Participate Learning helps to supply us with dual language teachers, and our schools that have that program. We currently have 4 elementary schools that have the dual language program and 2 middle schools that have the program. We'll be adding Bandy's High School next year as our first high school with the program. We also have a number of teachers that are supplied by Participate Learning that help teach Spanish classes. There is a fee involved per teacher, around $23,000, but as I explained earlier today at the work session, we recoup that money because we do not have to pay our Participate Learning teachers benefits or retirement. So it's basically we break even after we pay the fee to Participate Learning. Their teachers that come from Participate are vetted just like our teachers who come from Appalachian State would be vetted. They have to pass exams, they have to pass background checks, and they are under the same type of evaluation system that our typical teachers would be. If it's not working out and we have the correct documentation, we can move on from those teachers. They undergo quite a bit of training before they arrive here in the United States and here in North Carolina to make sure that, one, they know our standards that we teach in North Carolina, and two, that they are teaching with the strategies that we know are impactful to learning. I can tell you that we've had a number of Participate teachers in our past, and for the most part, they're very good educators. And I would think that those students who are in our dual language programs, their parents are very happy with those programs and report, success of their kids being in that program. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Anybody have any questions for Mr. Miller? Hearing none, all those in favor of I need a motion for approval of the Master Services Agreement between Catawba County Board of Education and Participate Learning.
Make that motion, we approve.
Hearing a motion, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, show a raise of hand. Thank you. Again, Mr. Miller, approval of 2020 memorandum of agreement between Catawba County Board of University and Catawba County Cooperative Extension, Juntos 4-H program.
Thank you again, Chairman Senemeyer. This program is currently at Arndt Middle School, St. Stephen's High School, and Challenger Early College. The program is designed to support Latino students in grades 8 through 12 and their families in preparing for high school success and post-secondary education. It is housed within the 4-H Youth Development Program. I believe, as you mentioned, it's really a partnership between North Carolina State University, the Catawba County Cooperative Extension, and the Catawba County Board of Education. We've had this partnership for, I believe, 8 years. They have a 100% graduation rate of those students who are in this program. They have regular meetings. They do 5 workshops for parents, and they have monthly meetings for students. Some of those are student-led. Some of those are led by the Juntos coordinator. I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have about Juntos.
Between Catawba County Board of Education, North Carolina State University, and Catawba County Cooperative Extension for Juntos 4-H program.
I make that motion.
Hearing a motion. Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
That's it for you, wow. Up next is revised second reading and adoption of Board Education Draft Policy 7.3350, employee use of social media, presented by Ms. Ray Thompson.
Marty. Yes, sir. Good evening, Chairman, members of the board, Dr. Stover. This morning I brought for you on the first reading a model policy from the State School Boards Association, employee use of social media. And this policy, as I talked about this morning, kind of brings together pieces from different policies we have, our social media guidelines, and it codifies what we have asked our employees to do over the years into one single policy. After our discussion earlier today, I did make the adjustments that you had requested. The date has been updated from January. I have changed Twitter to the correct name of X there. In the section 3, employees are prohibited from knowingly communicating with any current Catawba County Schools student. You had asked that that be clarified. And then we also clarified the meaning of instructional time. So that now reads, school employees are prohibited from accessing social networking websites for personal use during instructional time while working with or supervising students or carrying out the employee's required duties. So that covers our classified folks, our custodians, cafeteria folks as well. Again, we clarified Catawba County School students in section D, number 2. I believe that is the last, yes, that is the last piece for that, for those updates and changes. Any questions, any further issues we need to address with this policy?
There are no further questions or comments for Ms. Thompson. I request a motion to approve adoption of Board Education Draft Policy 7.3350, employee use of social media.
Motion.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. That is unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Up again, Ms. Thompson, is approval of revisions to the 2026-2027 Catawba County Schools traditional school calendar, adding in inclement weather days.
Yes, sir. So we have adjusted the 26-27 calendar to include 3 inclement weather makeup days for students as a result of our lovely 2-week experience here recently. As I explained to the board earlier today, we have not had any weather in the past really almost 12 years that we couldn't cover with student hours, that we are over the state minimum until this year. So we have looked at a weather makeup day potentially for February 12th, February 15th, and then also March the 29th to give us a little bit of flexibility at that time. And those dates are noted on the calendar with an asterisk and then also noted over on the side. So I would ask for your approval of these updates.
Thank you for being proactive with this. Like, a long time since we've had this kind of weather pattern. So we don't have to use these days, but in case that we do, so thank you. Planning ahead for that.
Yes, sir.
So I seek a motion of approval to the revisions for the 2026-2027 Catawba County Schools traditional school calendar, adding in those inclement weather days.
That motion.
Hearing a motion, any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise their hand. All
Thank you.
right, Dan. Oh, there he is. Next up is approval of state-approved curriculum request before and after-school program presented by Mr. Dan Moore.
Thank you, Chairman Settlemeyer, members of the board. Earlier today, you heard a presentation from Quest Director Erin Gates, where she explained the curriculum requirements for DCDEE licensure. And I would ask that you approve her recommendation for Funny Daffer Education School-Age Child Care Curriculum for the Quest before and after school program at this time.
Okay, we heard this request from Ms. Gaines this morning. Is there any preference for not a request, but curriculum request before and after school
Make a motion, we approve as presented. Thank you.
And that's unanimous. I do have one request before you start again. There has been a wedding ring found in the men's bathroom. So if you're missing a wedding band and have been in the men's restroom, somebody has it, or either somebody just decided tonight was the night and that was it and left. I don't know. So be checking your fingers if you're a gentleman and married. All right, next on the agenda is approval of proposed rate increase for Quest Summer Program, again presented by Mr. Dan Moore.
Thank you, Chairman Saddlemeyer, members of the board. Earlier today, again, you heard Aaron Gates make a request to the Board of Education to increase the registration fee for summer care to $35 and the weekly rate for summer care to $135 for one child and $125 for any additional children. And I would seek your approval at this time.
There are no questions for Mr. Moore. I request a motion to approve the proposed rate increase for Quest Summer Program.
Motion that we approve that.
I hear a motion. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous, thank you.
Thank you.
Next is approval of architectural design firm for Catawba County Middle School additions and renovations presented by Mr. Dan.
Thank you, Chairman Settlemeyer, members of the board. Earlier today, you heard a discussion and a presentation about the process for the selection of the architectural design firm for Catawba County Schools for the middle school additions and renovations. And at this time, I would seek your approval of SFLA Architects for this construction program.
Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Moore that date from this morning's presentation presented by him?
A question or make a statement, whatever. I have all the confidence in Mr. Moore, and he has and doing a wonderful job. So there's no reflection. I was just like for him to reiterate how you came to that decision for everyone, because it's been raised that question in the meeting tonight.
Yes. As you can tell, I think it's on the third page, Marty, I think. The process was outlined. No, that's the second page, third page. We had a process in which there was a pre-selection. We had 12 firms that submitted proposals to Catawba County Schools. We used that rubric that is listed there. We determined that there were 6 firms that needed to be shortlisted for review. You can keep, and those firms are listed: Adams and Associates, Clark Nexon, Holland and Hamrick, LS3P, YCH Architects, and SFLA Architects. After deliberation, we determined that the best firm for this project was SFLA, based on their ability and experience with construction management at risk, and the fact that we would have more equity within all projects by having one firm complete that.
Mr. Moore.
And also for a point of clarification, Mr. Moore, as we heard earlier, we hope to get about $120 million from the county. There is a large fee for the architect, and at this time, if the architect is chosen tonight, we still will be selecting construction firms. Is that correct? And are those construction firms being considered in this local community? Thank you, sir.
Like I said, just another point is that we're going to use local people to do work. There's the architecture firm kind of wrangling all the cats together.
To the best of our ability, yes, sir.
Any further questions or comments from Mr. Moore on this? Hearing none, I seek a motion for approval of architectural design firm FLA, Catawba County Schools, Middle School.
Make a motion that we approve.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next up is second reading and adoption of Board of Education draft policy regarding open invitations before board meetings by Mr. Jonathan Sink.
That's right, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, thank you. Up for consideration before the board is on second reading is the adoption of the policy regarding the opening of board meetings with invocations. This is a non-sectarian, non-denominational invocation policy. All case law, Supreme Court, Fourth Circuit, state law cases, you name it, has been considered before embarking upon this draft. This would be a 3-minute or less endeavor before official board action even starts. It would replace the moment of silence after the meeting is gavelled in by the chairman, and it would be an invocation open to all to either stand, not stand, whatever the individual so chooses. Public notice would immediately go out through the superintendent's office inviting congregations, synagogues, temples, you name it. It is a non-sectarian invitation, non-denominational invitation to open the meeting with an invocation. That is what's before the board for consideration on second reading.
Mr. Sink, could you go into more detail for the folks sitting out here as to how they would be selected?
Absolutely. So the way it would work is every single year, public notice would be put forth in just like we do board meetings. We put in the newspaper, social media, you name it, and it would have the writing that you see on the screen in italics, inviting all of those who are even remotely interested in providing an invocation to solemnize. The purpose of this meeting is to solemnize the board meeting before action even gets started. And that is what would be the invitation, both in the newspaper and otherwise. Names would come in of individuals from congregations or other groups who meet to even discuss these things. Again, non-sectarian, non-denominational. This policy is Ms. Wetzel's put online for a week now for the public to view. And it'd be free. There's no payment to the person. There's no filter unless they just get up here and just start berating y'all via personal attacks or berating members of the audience via personal attacks. You know, in those cases, I could see an instance where it might need to be shut down. It's a prayer, not a sermon. And that's what's before the board, Mr. Widener.
Thank you for the clarification.
And I should add, just to piggyback on the tail end of your question, that if multiple names were to come in per board meeting, then what's recommended and what's even said at the top of page 2 of this policy, I think it's page 2, it's in here somewhere, that it would be a random drawing as to who is selected.
Is there any further questions or comments regarding the policy from the board? Think? Not, I seek a motion for approval of adoption of Board of Education draft policy regarding.
A motion.
There a motion? Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise their hand. Unanimous, thank you. Up there, okay, second reading and adoption. Draft policy regarding selection, review, and restriction of inappropriate library materials. Again,
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. On for second reading and consideration before the full body politic for adoption. is this draft policy regarding the selection, review, and restriction of inappropriate library materials. There's just a few parts that I will nutshell for everyone very briefly. You've all heard the presentation earlier today, so going at about 25-30% of what was said, just to sum everything up as to what this entails. First, it would allow the superintendent and his designee, his office, because this is not a one-man or one-lady job, to go through the materials that are accessible to all students and based on case law guidance in addition to statutory authority. I mean, let's just read. It is worth it for members of the public who did not tune in, I think, from the work session standpoint, the very first line of this. North Carolina General Statute 115C-98 gives local boards of education exclusive authority to select, retain, or remove instructional and library materials. And then you can go on to read the part that says, and expressly authorized removal when materials are educationally unsuitable, pervasively vulgar, or inappropriate for students' age, maturity, or grade level. So long as, and that's where we have to get into, as it's been duly noted before today, it's got to be viewpoint and content neutral. So what it does not say is that the superintendent or the superintendent's designee just have automatic authority to permanently remove anything. That authority does not lie with the superintendent or his office. The authority to permanently remove books from CCS library availability rests solely with this board. It does allow the superintendent, as is already legal and in law, to recategorize books. Say, for example, there was an extreme book on, think of the most heinous thing you can think of, just by way of extreme example, in an elementary school shelf. That could be recategorized, repurposed, and transferred to a middle or high school, for example, age-appropriate destination. Even materials that are flagged for potential permanent removal would have to be acted on within 45 instructional days. They would go to the challenge committee, the book challenge committee under the umbrella of curriculum instruction headed by Lee Miller. And then, and only then, would a recommendation come from that committee to this full board, since this board is the only one, again, it's very important, this board is the only authority in this context who has authority to permanently remove library materials. That's what this policy is about.
Are there any further questions or comments by the board to Mr. Sink? Are none, I request a motion for adoption of Board of Education draft
I make
policy
that motion.
on selection, review, and restriction of inappropriate library materials. I heard the motion. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise a hand. Unanimous, thank you, sir. Next is me. Wow. Next up is the approval of resolution in support of equitable funding for exceptional children, RC 0.
You go ahead if you'd like. Well, thank you, Chairman Selmeyer. Just as we looked at earlier, the crux of this is that we're over $2 million over the last 2 years underfunded for our exceptional children's department. And as requested from you all is why does this occur? The question is because our students are funded at the same level. So each of our exceptional children's students requires different services. Depending on the handicap or barrier of learning, it can range from a 30-minute of a week consultation all the way to additional personnel from depending on PE to one-on-ones to dietitian specialists, those type of things, nurses, personalized nurses. All that to say is, and it's the state funding formula the way it works. So I appreciate you all noting the need for change on that. And if approved tonight, then I will get your signatures And we'll send this off to our General Assembly before they start making decisions on the budget. And I want to thank you again for your all's support of all our children, but certainly our exceptional children. Thank you.
So thanks for Dr. Ashbrook's staff for putting this together. I thought I seen her here earlier. If you're listening, Dr. Ashbrook, thank you. Let's see, is there any further questions or comments by the board on this? If not,
I just want to say that I appreciate you putting or adding both years on there so that we could, because that makes a difference. Yeah, it does.
All right, if there are no further comments, I seek approval of the resolution in support of equitable funding for exceptional children.
That motion.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? And all those in favor, please show raise your hand. Next up is approval of a revision to Catawba County Board of Education 2026 meeting schedule. We've added in for March 23rd is the public hearing on budget and the regular meeting in the same night. So far, that's the only revision we've been to make for this year because of our canceled January sessions due to bad weather. Is there any further discussion on this? If not, I seek a motion for approval of revision to Catawba County Board of Education 2026 meeting schedule.
I'll make that motion.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor shall raise their hand. That is unanimous. Back. Next is adoption of resolution to the Catawba County Board of Education declaring certain real property surplus, and that'll be presented by Mr. Dan Moore.
Thank you, Chairman Settlemeyer, members of the board. Earlier today, you heard a presentation by legal counsel, Mr. Sink, with regard to the process for declaring property surplus. This property lies across from Balls Creek Elementary School, across Little Mountain Road, that we deem to be of no use to Catawba County. There is an interest by a party that lies across that road, and I would ask for your approval of this resolution to declare this property surplus in order to begin the bid process.
Are there any questions for Mr. Dan Moore after he presented this to us in closed session this morning? If there are none, I seek a motion for adoption of the resolution of the Catawba County Board of Education declaring property surplus.
I make a motion that we do.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please show raise your hand. That is again unanimous. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next on the agenda is approval of personnel recommendations and approval of addendum to personnel recommendations presented by Mr. Stover.
Thank you. You have our addendum and our personnel recommendations, and we do ask for approval this evening, except for Mr. Moore's retirement.
All those in favor of keeping Dan Moore around oh, I'm sorry. Till all these projects are done and completed to satisfaction. I seek a motion of approval of personnel recommendations and approval of addendum to personnel recommendations that were presented today by Dr. Stover. Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please show raise your hand. That again is unanimous. I now seek a motion to adjourn tonight's February 23rd, 2026 regular meeting with the Catawba County Board of Education.
I make a motion, we adjourn.
Hearing a motion, is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, shall raise their hand. That is unanimous. This meeting is adjourned.